If your dog goes absolutely crazy when you feed them breakfast and dinner, then this game is for you. Hi guys, I'm Madeline and I've been training dogs for over half a decade. I am obsessed with watching dogs learn, with learning each individual dog that I work with and seeing how they tick. It's my favorite part about dog training. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I know it's an essential for my dogs. For this game, we are talking about waiting at food bowls. Now, I do this every single day with my dogs for their meal times, and I do it with a boundary. So if you haven't watched the level 1 and level 2 boundary games, then go ahead and watch that. Otherwise, you can do this with your dog just on the floor and no boundary at all. Either way. When I practice this game for students or I'm just demonstrating, I use just any old random bowl and a couple of treats. I want the game to be fast and I want the dog to be able to learn quickly. So if you're able to do this as a training session, absolutely perfect. But I also do this with my daily life. So if you just do this with your dog's regular meal, that's perfectly fine too. So today I just have some treats and I have a random bowl that I'm going to use with Apollo. If you're using a boundary, this is also a great place to add our no reward marker word, which is no. And it basically just tells our dog that they did something wrong and they need to fix themselves so that they have a chance to get a treat. So if Apollo were to, no, get off his boundary at any way, then I would just tell him no and either repeat my boundary cue or I would wait and see if he could figure it out himself. Another way we're going to add a no reward kind of behavior is every time, so I have a couple of treats in this bowl. If I am going to put the food down, like I said, Apollo's been doing this every day for 6 years, so he's good at it. But if he were to break his boundary or get up from his sit or move towards the bowl in any way, then I would say no and stand right back up. Now, I've done this with dogs who have absolutely no experience with any training, were just rescued, and they probably learned this, I would say, within 5 minutes. If you have any type of struggles with standing and bending over for a long time, then I do this sitting down with a lot of my new puppies that come into my house. So I have the pieces of food in the bowl. Now I'm going to place it on the floor, and then I'm going to give my release word, that cue that tells them that they are fine to be a dog, go get your food, go do whatever you want to do. So I have 2 release words. They are, okay. I know, buddy, that wasn't your full dinner. Go back to your climb, please. Thank you. And my other release word is, okay. That's the one that he grew up on, so he knows that one a lot better than, than free. Good job, buddy. No. So see how he got off his boundary, and even though the bowl was empty, I simply said no and grabbed the bowl out from under him and just stood right back up. He took that as a, oops, I did something wrong, how do I fix it? Which is the best possible mindset, and what we're trying to create with our dogs is, I did something wrong, but how do I fix it so that I do something right? And Apollo's solution was to go back to his boundary. There was a lot of times with like young service dogs that I worked with where I would have to either correct them by asking them to go back to their climb or by taking them by their collar and leading them back to their boundary. But there was no like harsh punishments or anything like that. So this game is so nice, easy, and it's very quick for your dogs to learn, especially if you're doing this morning and night with their food, like their daily meals. So again, I'm just going to put a couple of treats in my bowl, and I'm going to start lowering the bowl. If you were to get off his boundary, I would lift it right back up and then repeat. Once I'm fully standing back up, I will give my release word, free. and he can enjoy his dinner. All right, so I took the boundary away so that you can see a dog who maybe doesn't have a boundary yet. So I'm going to ask for a sit and for my dog to hold the sit. So I'm going to free Apollo, get him moving a little bit. And when he comes back, I'm going to ask him to sit. And you can mark and reward this. So I chose to reward him for sitting. And then I'm going to put a couple of pieces of food into the bowl. And anytime he gets up from his sit, then I'm going to stand right back up and wait for him to correct himself, put him back in the sit before going back down. So I'm actually going to have him sit over here so you can see a little better. There you go, buddy. Yes. And you can reward them staying seated. Okay? And then you can release them to their food with your release word. Good job. I know this isn't your full dinner. That's okay. So I'll do this one more time. Sit. Yes. Put a couple, sit. Put a couple pieces of food into the bowl. If you were to break, then I would pick up the food as fast as I can. He goes back into a sit, and then I can lower the bowl again. Okay. And then give my release word. This game is such an easy way to add training into your everyday life without much time needed at all. So I do this, and my dogs immediately, I start filling up their bowls, and my dogs are immediately going to lay on their boundaries. They know they have to lay on their boundaries every time before they eat. So just like we've done today, that's what my dogs do every single day for every meal they have in a bowl. I hope you have a great day, guys. Keep on training.